hear you for the special. Yeah, that was good. Perfect. Did you get that one? I think you guys like this one. I love this one. This is a new one. It's called Change Your Mind.
Welcome to the show. It is May 7th, 2025. This is the Frankfort Report. I'm Darryl Frankfort, and what the hell's happening out there? I don't think too much is going on. Nothing major happening. Just the whole world seems to be falling apart and crumbling. We had some real estate stats that came out. When compared year over year, they don't look very good at all, at least in Toronto. I don't know about other cities in this vast, beautiful, wonderful, horrible country right now. I'm not sure what's going on out there, but in Toronto, if you compare things to last year, it is looking grim, baby, looking grim. D. Trent is here. It's going to need a bailout. Dumb money. Haha, wrong. Lower rates. Mr. Potato Head says, yes, sir. Jeff O'Toole. What up, Lefty? Jeff O'Toole. Let's bail it all out, baby. Dumb money, what's up? Okay, so nothing going on in the chat yet, but thanks for being here. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much. Please hit a button if you don't mind. We have all kinds of stuff to talk about today. I've got a long list of stuff. It's not that long. I'm a little more prepared than the last show. Thank you for being here last show. I really appreciate it. It was a horrible show. I do apologize, but some of you are back, and I really, really appreciate it. I got my coffee. I got some licorice. I got my glasses, my hat. I'm ready to go. Why in the world do we need reliance letters, for Christ's sakes? I mean, do you know what a reliance letter is? I just got an email. Okay, I'm closing on a property at the end of the month, and I got some reports done maybe 6 months ago. Okay, before we closed on the property, we did a lot of work. We got the property zoned. You know, just normal, everyday, genius level developer stuff. Nothing major, just getting things zoned before closing in under a year. Nothing major, nothing to see here. But what the hell am I talking about? Honestly, I don't even remember where I was going with that, other than the fact, oh, right. So I got these reports done for geotechnical and hydrological. Phase one, if you know about development, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know about development, you have no fucking clue. But basically, I had to hire these guys to dig a bunch of wells on my property and make sure that the ground underneath the building I intend to build is suitable for construction. Now, this seems like a good idea, and so I won't complain about this, okay? I mean, I don't know if you need to drill 7 holes and go back and monitor the water levels every couple of months, but I mean, I get it too. The issue I have is, why the fuck do I have to pay for a reliance letter on something that was done 6 months ago? Like, can you not just rely on the report that I paid $40-something thousand for Christ's sakes? Like, is it not possible to read the report, go, okay, this was 6 months ago. Chances are the soil isn't any different, okay? I mean, I suppose there's a chance it's a little different. I suppose there's a chance that what's underneath the current home that I intend to demolish and build on top of, I suppose that from 6 months ago, the underlayer, the underground, the composition of the earth material underneath the home could possibly have changed. I mean, this is not completely outside of the realm of realistic, but it is very highly unlikely. Same thing same thing goes with the hydrological report that tells us how much water is under the goddamn property, and if that's going to be a problem, or what is that problem going to take to deal with? How much is it going to take to deal with? How much money will it cost to deal with this problem? And you want to know these things. These are good things to know before. But if it's done 6 months ago, why do we need a reliance letter? Now I have to pay the guy I just paid maybe $46,000 to, okay? You want to know why your housing is so fucking expensive? I got to pay these guys to drill a few holes and to go check them every few weeks. $40-something thousand, okay? Then, when the lender wants to make sure that, he can rely on these documents, instead of calling the guy and saying, hey, you did these 6 months ago. Are they still reliable? And the guy going, yeah, man, are you crazy? It's 6 months ago. Of course they're reliable. What? Are you trying to insult me? Are you trying to insult my intelligence? No. Instead, I have to pay somebody to write a letter that says, the work we just did a few weeks ago, and we're charging you tens of thousands of dollars for, well, guess what? We need to charge you $500 to write a letter that says those reports are still kosher. What the fuck is going on? I mean, forget about wind studies and shadow studies and sound studies and vibration studies and on and on and on and on, and community consultations and blah, blah, blah. The amount of money we spend, the amount of time we waste, the amount of horseshit that goes into getting one of these goddamn real estate developments done is absolute insanity. But we're not here to talk about that. This is a side mission that popped into my head because of the email I just received before starting the show. Keep in mind that I do, work from time to time. I know it seems like I'm on the internet all the time, but I got a lot of shit going on and a lot of things happening, and it's hard to decide what the fuck to talk about every day with you guys. But here we are once again. We got the awful James Roffle, the biggest up and coming Canadian real estate show thingy channel. Let's call it a channel. According to Dumb Money. James, I watched your stuff. Well done, sir. Well done. Guess we weren't watching the same thing. Carney was masterful. It was a pleasure to watch him work, but how he sat through the rest of that bafflegab, I don't know. I mean, he did have to endure some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, Trump did unleash on Carney pretty good. He did. I think he, I don't know if he handled himself well. I don't think he didn't handle himself well. I think given the circumstances, Carney did the best job that anybody could have done in the circumstance. But we're going to get to that a little later. Listen to the experts laugh my ass off, says Decryptos. I have no idea what that is in reference to, but thank you very much for your service. Thank you for being here. Smash a like button or something, if you don't mind, or something. Derry is making bank. I have to sit through 5 seconds of paid ads now. You goddamn right you do. You goddamn right you do. You see, you're cheering for me to get to that 1,000 sub mark, and then what happens? They pummel you with ads now. They pummel you with ads. But guess what, guys? It's going to be well worth it. Okay? As I'm going to make an additional $3.64 every month, and you guys get more ads. What could be better? I don't know. But I'll tell you, I got a feeling based on some of the stuff I'm hearing and some of the stuff that I'm seeing and some of the stuff that I'm sensing that there could be trouble a brewing. And I wonder, there's already a bunch of trouble underneath the surface. There's some that has bubbled, past the surface. There's bankruptcies. We've heard of a few, Van Dyke and Mizrahi, and I forget the name of the company in Vancouver, but a big one over there. And there's been a few other smaller ones. There was what were they called? State Park Homes. There's a State View, maybe it was. A lot of stuff going on, and a lot of people that are looking down the barrel of a shotgun aimed at their nostrils and unsure what to do at the moment. And I wonder, when the airlines are in disrepair and they're having a tough time, or the banks are having a tough time, or the auto sector is having a tough time, it seems that we find ways for the government to help them out. And why are we not doing the same blatant bailouts for the developers and construction companies that are dying or about to die or sitting on life support and about to, really just fucking blow up? Why do we not have anything in place? Why aren't we talking about helping them out, bailing them out? Why are they not, why are they not important? I don't understand. Maybe you can explain to me why they're not as important, because I believe, and I could be completely wrong, but I do believe that the construction industry, the real estate sector, the real estate sector of Canada, I believe it makes up a significant amount of our GDP. I think it accounts for a significant amount of our jobs, right? And our livelihoods. And I think even things that people don't realize are tied to the real estate markets are tied to the real estate markets in some tertiary, or what's number 4? Fortiary way. Okay? Tertiary, quaternary. How do you say 4? Somebody help me out. Do we have anybody here? I can't tell if there's anybody here because nobody is really talking in the chat, and that doesn't help. So yuck it up, Boiler Room. Let's go. What are you doing? Am I the only one here? Am I the only one here today? Anyways, you guys help a brother out, will you? Somebody type something into the chat. Somebody hit a button. Let's go. Let's get this thing out to a few more than 4 people. That would be fantastic. Anyways, where are we going with this? I don't know. I'm just riffing here. But I got some stuff for you. I think it has been received fairly well recently. And, how bad could it be? How bad could it be if we got a little extra energy right now? I mean, I don't know about you. I'm getting older. I don't know if you can see all this gray in this thing, okay, or in this beard here, but I'm getting older, getting a little heavier, and I'm getting more tired, okay? I could use a pick-me-up. So this segment of the show is brought to you by they, them, energy. Are you ready for a little they, them energy? Here we go.
They, them energy. They, them energy. They, them energy. They, them energy.
Let's go faster.
Energy. They, them energy. They, them energy. They, them energy.
All right, we did it. We made it. We made it through the they, them energy. I don't know about you. I feel way better, way better. Saw this funny video that I thought might be cool to share with you guys. It's a funny video about Carney and Mr. Trudeau. I think they're planning, they're trying to figure out how to fix Canada in this video. So let's see what somebody put together here. A little parody, shall we?
Are you sure this is how we fix Canada?
Yeah. Elbows up. Climate change, did that.
Climate change did that. Did you get that part there? That was funny, wasn't it? I thought that was funny. Glad I could share that with you guys. I thought it was funny. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my sense of humor's off. Let's see. What did you guys think about that? Was that funny? I thought so. Let's see. Darryl is making bank. Okay, let's see. Anthony Warner's back. Hello. How are you? Good day. No bailout for real estate. Carney got multi-billion-dollar deal to build smart city jail cells for you. That's right. We talked about that the other day. Modular. Gonna build a ton of houses here in Canada, I got a feeling. Sorry, let me reposition that. I gotta unplug that cord there. That's driving me nuts. Dumb Money says James Roffle needs to call in, right? James Roffle owes us a call in, everybody. At any point in time, the lines are open. Dina Gallus, I think she said she was going to call in, but she had to work at some weird times. And now she's here. At some point, Canada needs to become more productive. Maybe. 100%. Absolutely. This is a joke how unproductive a country we are. It's really crazy. Considering, I mean, I was at the mall today. And yes, I know I probably shouldn't be at the mall during the day. I was up at 3 a.m. working, just so you know. Just in case somebody's keeping score here, for Christ's sakes, you bastards. Anyways, okay, I guess that's my issue, bleeding through and making it your issue. And I apologize for that. I should not have done that. But I was at the mall today, and it was not a good mall. It was not the Yorkdale Mall, which normally I use as a meter. If Yorkdale's slamming, there's no real recession. And this was not Yorkdale. I went to, I believe it is called... Well, I was at Centerpoint. Oh, I went to 2 malls today. That doesn't look very good now, does it? That doesn't. No wonder we're not productive. And this is the point. There's so many people at Centerpoint Mall. Okay, not a very good mall. There's so many people. Then we went up to what's it called up there? Hillcrest Mall. And Hillcrest Mall even had a decent amount of people in it. And I was like, who the fuck in this kind of environment, can go to the mall all during the day? Like, who are all these people that can just shop during the day? Forget about me right now, okay? It's not important, okay? It's not important the fact that I was there. I'm there because I can definitely afford to be there at any time of day that I want. And that's just a fact. So you're going to have to deal with that. But I saw a lot of people that looked to me, and I know looks can be deceiving, but they look like they should probably be at work. Maybe they work at night. Maybe they were waiting for their shift to start. Maybe they were shopping while they were on a break. But I don't know. There's a lot of people at the mall for the economy being as fucked up feeling as it is. And you know what? I didn't even get the TRREB stats. I didn't even put a damn thing about the TRREB stats. I better talk about that at some point. Because, excuse me, I feel like that the media is misleading everybody with regards to the TRREB stats, for Christ's sakes. And I want to address that. Because we're looking at stuff like this right now. I hope you guys can see my screen. I hope it works when I press the buttons. We're seeing stuff like this. Toronto real estate. Ready? Toronto real estate prices fall below 1 million. Sales at 90s crash levels. Like, that doesn't sound good, right? 90s crash levels attached to anything is bad. Bad. Unless, of course, you're D-Trent. Oh, Jesus, I did it again. Unless, of course, you're D-Trent. Sorry about that. I just ruined the whole show once again. I feel like it was going pretty good up until there, and then I just fucked it up. Jim Van Usk in the house. Welcome to the Muppet Mayhem. Who's going to buy all this real estate, dumb? With what? Says Dina. Fab DeFranco, which seems like a new name to me, says that word you were searching for earlier after tertiary is quaternary. Is that for real? I'm going to have to look that up. We're going to have to ask ChatGPT or Skynet at some point in the future. But, okay, I digress. I'm going to have to talk about TRREB stats. I made a note. Thank you for being here. Thank you for not leaving yet. Appreciate it. Let's see. Let's get into this. The Greater Toronto real estate market is still in free fall as the anticipated boom proves to be an epic bust. As the anticipated boom. Okay. Toronto Regional Real Estate Board TRREB data shows the price of a typical home composite benchmark continued to fall in April. Oh, look, I have something about TRREB. A typical house in the city is now under the $1 million mark as the multi-year downturn led to the highest April inventory in over 15 years, and sales fell to 90s real estate crash levels. Jesus Christ. Can you just picture that little shit that runs this Better Dwelling? What's his name? That little fucker that ran for mayor? What's that little dick's name? Little fucking guy. Can you just picture him there laughing? Market's going to shit. I love it. I've only been saying it's going to happen for the last 15 years. Fucking guy just grabs every negative thing, spins it into shit. I hate Better Dwelling. Greater Toronto real estate prices dip. City plunges below 1 million. Plunges. Have you seen what a plunge looks like? Okay, let's see if we can find what does a plunge look like. Okay, let's go to YouTube and let's just see what if I type in plunge. What the fuck does a plunge? What comes up when you plunge into something? What happens? What do we see? Let's see what a plunge into. Are we gonna get anything worthwhile here?
Hi.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! Can't anything work out properly? Anyways, when I picture somebody plunging into something. Okay, let's see the plunge. Greater Toronto home prices are still falling. TRREB reported a composite benchmark price of 1.01 million in April, falling 5.4%. There's the plunge, minus 58.1 thousand from last year. In the city of Toronto, it fell to 985.4 thousand, down 4.5%. Plunge over the same period. Buyers haven't seen the composite this close to the $1 million mark in years. The city's benchmark falling under the $1 million threshold is a grim milestone for a market some experts thought was invincible. Well, I mean, what are you supposed to say about that? Nothing. Toronto home sales crashed to 1997 lows as more sellers appear. Holy Jesus. And then we see a chart that does not have 1997 on it anywhere. Why not? What is the purpose of this slide? I don't understand. Someone please explain to me what the hell's going on. Are we getting ads in the middle of the show, friends? Are they putting ads in the middle of this thing? Is that what's going on now? I'm going to be fucking loaded, bro. I'm going to end up after this year with like $18 from this thing. Okay. Driving the price declines was the collapse of sales. Annual growth was down 23.3% with just 5,600 home sales recorded in April. It was the weakest buying demand since 2020. Okay. The first full month of pandemic lockdowns when buyers, okay, we all know all this shit. Toronto real estate hasn't seen this much inventory in 15 years. Christ. See, that's the bad thing, right? That's the bad thing. I'm seeing stuff all over my area going up on the market, coming down, changing the price, down, up. Meanwhile, okay, I'm done with this fucking article. Sorry. Way to go, Better Dwelling. Well done. You fooled us all, you bastards. You fooled us all. What was I even talking about? What the hell was I even talking about? Oh, yeah. So yesterday, my daughter's working on a deal with a buyer, and they found this, little house in Scarborough that they really liked. It was in a good price point, and it was clear to my genius level daughter that, of course, it was underpriced in the hopes of getting a bidding war. And so this house was underpriced by a couple $100,000, it seems. And, well, I mean, not that that's a new strategy, right? This is not a new strategy at all, but it worked. It worked again. They got 10 offers. 10 offers. This is not like a palace, okay? This is not a prize lot. It was like a 30 by 100. It was in Scarborough, okay? It was listed for $700,000. It's a bungalow. I wouldn't call it renovated. Like, it must have been renovated at some point in time. But that point in time was nowhere near yesterday, okay? It was nowhere near today. So I'm not sure at what point in time the last bit of work was done to this thing. But what I can tell you for certain is that, this was no prize, okay? This was no prize. And yet it garnered 10 offers yesterday, okay? And then if we're talking about TRREB stats, and we're only going to talk about TRREB stats for a little bit longer because, quite honestly, it's annoying me the way that people look at stats. Can somebody explain to me why in the world, okay? Why in the fucking world do we compare to last year? Okay? Why do we compare this April to last April? Was the world the same last April? Can anybody explain to me? Can anybody tell me? Was the world last April similar to the world this April? I strongly doubt that the answer can be yes, okay? I strongly doubt it. But I strongly doubt it, okay? That's all I'm saying. I strongly doubt it. Why, then, can we possibly, the seasonality bullshit, okay? If you really look at every fucking April, most of them are not the same. So why do we compare it to last April? If you listen to people with half a brain, and only half, and they're not hard to find, okay? If you find somebody with half a brain, okay, and you ask them, does it matter last year, versus this year's number? If they tell you yes, then run away, because they're a moron. Because what's important is what happened versus last month, okay? What happened versus last month? And last month versus this month, guess what? March versus April, guess what? The numbers are up, okay? More sales, okay? More sales, okay? The trend can be your friend, everybody. But compared to last year doesn't tell you anything. It's compared to last month and then maybe the month before, Okay. And then if we start seeing things go in a certain direction and we start seeing a new trend form, this is what we look at. Okay. Not what do we expect this year to be based on last year and the year before at the same time. Like, this is fucking crazy. 2 years, 24 months ago. Oh, like, how is it even possible that the world would be anything close to it was 2 years ago? The way things move nowadays, for God's sakes. Okay? Tell me, please. Somebody explain this to me. Anyways, I don't want to go too hard on this, okay? But we're seeing other stuff out there, okay? This was interesting. New, exclusive. Oh, Jesus. New, exclusive. Toronto new build condo prices have not fallen at all in 2 years. Can you believe that? While resale has fallen 15 to 20%. This has to be because they can't afford to drop the prices. These guys are going bankrupt. Stats Canada. This is from Table Salt on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. And what are we seeing here? Is this the price? I don't even know what this is telling us. Just a bunch of fucking numbers, and we're going to have to trust what he says. Because these numbers don't mean anything to me. I guess in Toronto, these are prices. They're barely moving. But they're moving. I mean, 140 to 136.6. I see 135. That's not good. These are moving. What's he talking about? Data, new condo price index. To me, this tells me they are hovering around their stop production price, which means it's better to not reduce the price and simply shut down operations and wait. I mean, this is not news. This is there's been a lot of projects at this point forever. This should not even be a post. I shouldn't even be talking about this. This is foolishness. But I mean, the reality is that there's other ways, you know, it can look like you sold something at a certain price, but you could have given incentives, right? You could have given incentives that drove down the price that don't show on those documents that we just pulled up. There's ways, there's shenanigans at play all of the time. There's ways to deal with everything. Regardless, one of the most important things going on in real estate, and then I promise you I'm going to back off of real estate. We did the real estate portion, but I mean, I do real estate. I like real estate. Am I losing you guys because I'm talking about real estate? Should I move on to something else? What's going on in the Muppet Boiler Room at the moment? At some point, okay, we already talked about that. AI Overview Canada, the real estate sector and its related activities, including construction, account for roughly 14% of the GDP. I think that's low, DZ. I think that's low, DZ. James Roffle, happy face soon. I bet that's about calling in. When are you going to call in? We're going to change your name from the awful James Roffle to the vagina James Roffle really soon. You're going to be known as the vagina James Roffle. You don't want that. You're going to have to call in, bro. You're going to have to call in. Dumb Money says, BC real estate is going to the sky in July. Oh, what happened to boom in June? Dina Gillis says, who's going to buy all this real estate, dumb, with what? Okay. Oh, we said this already. Quaternary. Is that really true? Why does your buddy TK keep deleting my Muppet Boiler Room comments? From where? Where is he deleting your comments from? And what is with you and the Muppet Boiler Room? I guess it is your boiler room. You are the creator of the boiler room. CCP family members will buy all unsold condos in Toronto, or maybe they will be selling. Well done, Jay Blair. Thank you for the confusion. Clocking in, says Rose Overdose. Seems like we've been working overtime. I hope Frankfort pays well. Frankfort does not pay well at all. It's an unfortunate circumstance, but the pay around here is brutal. Brutal. All right, let's see what's going on. Just one metric of many. The point is to see the difference because it's not the same. That's the point. I just got here. Are you explaining how year over year works? No, I'm not. Year over year doesn't work. It's a comparison. What's to explain? It's just a dumb comparison because it's so far away and the world changes and things are so different. All of a sudden there's a pandemic in April. Like, how do you compare the next 5 Aprils? You can't. Yes, he is cooking here. Oh, I see. Let's go. I think it's house prices pegged to 2017. I don't know what that means. Muppet Boiler Room condos will be selling at a loss soon. They already are. There are plenty of deep loss assignments, plenty of deep losses on the developer's books starting to form that people just don't know about, that they have not heard about. Okay, that is happening in the background as we speak. Loss to anyone who misses the opportunity to buy. My astrologer said I should buy a pre-sale condo. Yes, get your astrologer on the line now. There's the phone number. Please get your astrologer to WhatsApp me right now. Buy the dip. You must be a Virgo. Oh my God. Yes, I am. Virgo's got to buy the dip. David Clorley is back. Ron Butler on TV slagging off. That's a sickening visual, just so you know. I don't want to think about Ron Butler slagging anything off in front of me. 250 square foot condos was pretty funny. Dog crate condos, LOL. Okay, well, the guy is an absolute genius for coming up with dog crate condos. I'm sure that the people that live in them are very, 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 very happy about that. What else is in the news? Okay, so we've got important news here. Important news. The infamous one, the infamous one that was disgraced and put into foreclosure by Mizrahi Developments is now being renamed One Bloor West. And is this important? I don't know. I don't think so. Does it make a difference? Probably not. I don't know. But they're trying to distance themselves from the disaster that was the one. Now, I feel like if I owned a unit and I bought one in the one, I like that name. I want to... I want to own something in the one. And I'm not going to bore you with this entire article here about the one and how it's a disaster and Tridel came in to save the day, which they didn't. They're getting paid handsomely to finish the job. But they have decided in their infinite wisdom that renaming the deal One Bloor West is much smarter than keeping the name the one. And I'm not sure what I think about this, quite honestly. I'm not entirely sure what I think about this, okay? And it doesn't really matter. Now, did anybody else see this? This has got me a little confused. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, this makes perfect sense. Hold up, this site is malicious. Ah, that makes sense. It's a fake fucking site. Let's see what happens. Look at this. It looks like CBC. Oh, I really want to show you guys this. This is crazyville. How do I do this without killing my computer? Can I? Okay, so obviously it's not true, and it's a big goof, and I'm a big goof, and it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all. New immigration and housing policy. Do I give a shit to talk about that? No, not at all. Not one freaking bit. I do not. I'm going to show you a funny video, but I do want to take a moment and eat a piece of licorice for you all. I hope that you're going to be okay with this. I don't know if we have any hardcore Frankfort Report fans here, but this is the time in the show. This is the segment that we like to call. Okay, ready? This is the segment that we like to call Eating Black Licorice. I fucking love black liquor so much. I got Twizzlers today. They're not very good. I don't like Twizzlers as much as I like the Darryl brand, Australia. The Darryl, it's called Darryl brand from Australia. That's my favorite. That's absolutely my favorite. The problem with the Twizzlers is that they're like big, long, and it makes this segment take forever. Okay, I'm gonna have to finish that later because I'm sure I must have rubbed somebody the wrong way and lost the entire audience pulling that shtick. And funny enough, chewing fetish time. Jim Van Nutz, ready? You got things ready? Mizrahi, very untrustworthy name. Yes, Todd from work. We sound like NPC chatter when he reads our comments. You do sound like NPCs. I mean, many people sound like NPCs normally. I don't know how many NPCs you run into in a day. I feel like most of the people I run into are NPCs. And what a great segue. Oh, you know, if this show didn't suck so much, this segue is perfect, okay? This segue is frickin' fire. Okay, hold on a second. Screwed this up. Let's see. What do we got going on here? This is a Carney voter. And hopefully, do we have volume? Okay, hold on. Oh, no. Why do we have no volume now? God damn it. How is that possible? What the fucking fuck? Aiden! Why is this not working? Hold on a second. That doesn't make sense. Didn't we have volume yet? Did we not watch a video yet? Is the audio not working? Hey, oh, look who it is. Oh, the audio's working there. This guy. Who can stand?
You know, for young Canadians between the ages of, say, 25 and 35,
who can stand
statistically,
listening to this guy? I can't stand it. Why did that not work? Carney voter. What am
You
I
guys
doing?
vote?
Oh,
Yeah.
now it's working. Look at how that works. That's kind of strange. Okay, ready? This is going to blow your mind, I think. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will. This is what we're dealing with, people.
You guys
This
vote?
is-
Yeah.
This is part of the voter base that gets to decide who
guys vote?
leads the country. Just okay for point of reference. This is how come we lost the election.
You guys vote?
Yeah. Carney won, so
Is that a good thing?
yeah, it's a good thing
Why did you vote for Carney?
because he makes most sense out of people. So,
What makes the most sense to you from his policies?
I don't know.
Is there one specific policy that you were really interested in of his?
No.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Okay. Honestly, this is what we're dealing with, guys. This is who's allowed. Like, should there not be some kind of test that you have to pass, maybe, to vote? Like, should you not be, not a Neanderthal? Do we think that making sure that the voters that can vote are past, have achieved higher status than Neanderthal? Can we do that? Extra chromosome voter, right? Anthony Warner. See, we're on the same page, right? There's something wrong with that guy. Audio good on YouTube. Yeah. Rose wants you to eat a banana. Well, how many times can you do that banana stunt? Honestly. I do plan to do it again, though, however. But today is not that day because I am going to play baseball tonight for the first time in, I don't even know how many years. Definitely multi-decades. I'm playing softball with my son. He's on my team. It's going to be so great. Just bought my new helmet today. Got some batting gloves. new running shoes, and I am ready to go. Hopefully, I am not dead and broken by the end of the evening. Hopefully, I make it through this in one piece, but I am not entirely hopeful. Okay, so, I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you must have heard this by now, but our Prime Minister, Mark Carney, our wonderful Prime Minister, Mark Carney. Speaking of which, where's Charlotte today? I don't think I noticed Charlotte today. But our new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, went to the White House and had a meeting with the President of the United States and our current enemy at war, Donald Trump. And, some people think it went better than others. Some people think it did not go good at all. Some people think that Mark Carney is the best thing since sliced bread. I will leave it up to you to decide. But I'm pretty sure that, maybe it speaks for itself, okay? Carney speaks to Trump. Canada is not for sale, and more Carney Trump. Let's start here with Carney speaks to Trump.
Or worse.
Okay, hold on a sec. Mark, okay, this is from Rebel News. I'm not subscribed. Oh, subscribe. Goddamn right I'm not subscribed. $14. Did you see that? Would you pay $14 to subscribe to me? How about 10? How about 12? I shouldn't negotiate against myself. What am I doing? Okay. Mark Carney hesitates before claiming that Canada-U.S. relations are in a better position now than before his meeting with President Trump. Oh, wow. The president repeated his idea that Canada should become the 51st state during his public meeting with Carney.
Do you feel better or worse about Canada-U.S. relations after meeting with the president today?
It was a very constructive meeting. I feel better about the relations in the sense of, in many respects, one,
what? This answer is not going well, I don't think.
The posture, if I can put it that way, or the position.
Accuses him of posturing. That's a good move.
Positioning the president took towards us. Secondly, the breadth of discussion and how concrete the discussions were.
What did he just say there? Did he just say anything? Let's hear this again. I don't think he said a damn thing.
It was a very constructive meeting. I feel better about the relations in the sense of, in many respects, one, the posture, if I can put it that way, or the positioning the president took towards us. Secondly,
did you hear? How is he happy with the posture that Trump took towards us? Did you hear that? Okay, we got to go see we got to go see the meeting.
The breadth of discussion and how concrete the discussions were. These are the discussions you have when you're looking to find solutions, as opposed to laying down terms, if you will. So feel better about that. And I would add one other thing, which maybe isn't as obvious, so I should say it, which is that we also discussed a number of issues globally, geostrategically, if I can put it that way, where we have common interests, common concerns, and that, of course, is a sign of a broader and very healthy, or a healthy relationship. Look, we have, JP, we have a lot more work to do. I'm not trying to suggest, at any respect, that we can have one meeting and everything's changed. But now we are engaged, and very fully engaged.
A whole lot of nothing speak, if you ask me. What a farce. Canadians are stupid. When BC will let I buy bourbon again, the level of stupidity here is unimaginable. That's not even English. This is complete professional wrestling. Canada is going to be a state. Carney is simply the man tapped to take us there and then peace out. They're only barely keeping up Fabby already. What the hell does that mean? Canada is not for sale.
I do feel it's much better for Canada, but we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But I think it would really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. We have done that in the past. And part of that, as the President just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership, and I'll say this as well, that the President has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
And they have.
Consider what Mr. Carney just said, that Canada is not for sale. Does this make the discussion a little more difficult to start on?
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, time will tell. It's only time. But I say never. I've had many things that were not doable, and they ended up being doable, and only doable in a very friendly way. But if it's to everybody's benefit, Canada loves us, and we love Canada. That's, I think, the number one thing that's important. But we'll see. I mean, over time, we'll see what happens.
Over time, we'll see what happens with Canada and the United States. It seems like these guys are, it seems like Carney's holding his position, doesn't it?
Mark, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually, for the big announcement. But thank you for your hospitality and above all, for your...
People are having a problem with the fact that Carney is sucking Trump's balls at the moment.
Leadership. You're a transformational president, focus on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker.
His campaign was anti-Trump, and that Trump was bad, and that we had to fight against Trump, and here he is sucking balls.
Securing your borders, ending the scourge of fentanyl and other opioids, and securing the world. And I've been elected with my colleagues here, with the help of my colleagues here. I'm going to spread the credit to transform Canada. With a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders, again on fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic.
That's important right there. I don't know if most people noticed or even understood or realized the ramifications of this little jab that our prime minister threw in there.
Defense and security, securing
security.
Fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and
securing the Arctic. That's what this guy wants. This is a big part of the play. We're all, worried about the oil and the mining and the this and the lumber and the cars. This dude wants the Northern Passageway, the shipping lane. Everybody wants the Northern Passage of Canada. It's the biggest, baddest, best shipping lane in all of the land. And it's just recently became usable because of all these icebreaker ships and global warming or some nonsense.
Developing the Arctic. And the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And I look forward to, addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation.
So, I don't know, these guys are able to function together in the same room. They're able to be cordial with each other for everybody's benefit. Are they acting? Is it shtick? Is it a bunch of malarkey? Are we about to be sold off to the United States? Are things about to get better in the world? I don't know what's going on. Why do we have 10 offers on one property right now? This blows my mind. And it was literally like not a good house, okay? Not a good house at all. Anyways, thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. I see that you are doing a lot of talking in the Muppet Boiler Room, and quite honestly, I don't feel like reading it right now. I trust that you guys have some very amazing points, and that some of you even stated some genius level stuff, but I do have to get ready mentally for this baseball game, in which I hope I don't die. And I hope that I am able to walk off the field today. That would be super cool. I hope this arm works properly. I throw like a girl now. It's so annoying. I can't even tell you how annoying. Have a nice